Hi, this is the second YouTube for the Makonet on March 29th. You're up to Ikar number four, the principle number four. Now, principle number four really looks like a reiteration, repeat of principle number one, because we believe that the oneness is necessarily primary, that all that exists other than Him is not primary relationship to Him. God was first, God is first, God is last. There's nothing in creation other than what God creates, which is we said at the beginning. So we had a little uh, another explanation for this, and we looked at Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu said, "Hey, wait a second. Why did God? He understood that God created the world. We had later on, and we're going to get to it in our review also, the whole allegory that he sees the birah, he sees the palace, and he realizes that there has to be a Baala birah. That he sees that there has to be an owner to the palace. The world is the palace. God is the creator of this palace. We said, why did God go ahead and why did God create the world? He did it for one reason and one reason only, for us. In other words, God didn't need us, but rather we need God. God goes ahead and creates the world with the idea of giving us the opportunity to go ahead and to live and to be creative. And therefore, the best way for us to live is to emulate. Emulate means to copy God as much as possible. In other words, we're human beings, but yet there's certain things that God does that we try to do the same. The same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made sure that Adam and Chava were clothed, we have a mitzvah to make sure people are clothed. To make sure, the same way God visited the sick when Avraham Avinu has Brit Milah, so we have a mitzvah to go ahead and to visit the sick. So the idea very much is Abraham perceived God as being the creator. And he said that this was a tremendous chesed, that God created the world for me, for humanity. Therefore, Avram took it under his belt that he was going to be a Baal Chesed. And that's what principle number four teaches us, is that the world is here for us, and it's a chesed for us, and we have to emulate, we have to copy the ways of God. That's what we're here for. Going to number five now. Ikar number five is that we only daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't daven to anything else at all whatsoever. We know that this was the problem in how Avodah Zarah originally developed, because people said, "Okay, I'll pray to God," but God made the sun, so I'll pray to the sun. And before they knew it, they were praying for the sun and not realizing that the power of the sun comes from God. And again, you have the allegory of the military is that a sergeant is a wielder of power. However, in terms of the source of power, he is alone in the hierarchy. His power is ultimately derived from the president, the commander in chief. Although the president is the source of power, he's not the wielder of power for the average serviceman. So when it comes to our relationship with God, it's very different because Kadosh Baruch Hu is the source of power and the wielder of power. In the army, you want to make sure that you get home for Shabbat, then you have to deal with your commander. You're not dealing with your Ramatkal. However, we have the ability to go to speak to the chief of staff, to the Ramatkal. So when we daven, we don't daven just to some underling who's just following the instructions of the Rebbeinu Shalom, that we have to make sure that we're davening directly to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with no intermediary whatsoever. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.